Hey there, Roots of Peace yogis. I'm Chelsea. This is Luna, who hates costumes. But it's October, it's Halloween month, so we'll be having some fun with these videos. So we've got our spooky witch gear on today. We're gonna focus on your shoulders, and some spooky things live in our shoulders. So what you'll need for your practice, I can't believe she still has her costume on. You will need a bolster and a block. And if you don't have those things, you can grab some firm pillows, some folded up blankets, things like that. And then, settle in. What lives in your shoulders, and I'll say it many times in the video, left side we harbor blame, right side we harbor guilt. And I'll get into this a little bit more as the video goes on. So grab what you need to grab and settle in so that we can get those haunting things out of your shoulders and shoulder blades. I will see you on the mat. Hey there, buddy. All right, we're gonna start on our backs, but I'm going to have you build the yogi ramp. And we'll get Luna out of the way, even though she looks so cute right now. So you're gonna take your block and then a bolster, and you're just gonna stack the bolster on top of the block. And then you're gonna recline on this. So you can have the block either at its lowest level or its middle level, and depending on how far back you want to recline. If you don't have a block and a bolster, you can stack some pillows to build this ramp type shape, or you can lay flat on your back. Either way is totally cool. Luna's tap dancing around. Anyway, so once you get your ramp built, or again, if you don't have it built, you can just lay flat on your back on your mat. You'll be able to do all the same things. But if you do have said ramp built, you're gonna back up your lower back to the bolster and then lay back. Let the arms fall down to your side. Close your eyes down. And take these first few minutes to go inward. First few moments, I should say, not minutes. So start to deepen the breath. Taking it down into the belly, filling up the torso. All that beautiful prana, that life force. And stay as you are. Continue to feel out your breath. Take your awareness to your shoulders. As I said in the intro, we're going to talk about our shoulders today and work through some spooky things that live in there. As I mentioned, I just went through a 100-hour Ayurvedic specialist training, and so we talked about what we harbor in the body and how that causes dis-ease, which eventually turns into disease. And so if you can catch it early, like when things are just kind of painful and your body's talking to you a little bit, telling you something's up, then you can squash the problem and go on about your happy, merry way. So your shoulders, I want you to focus on the left side. So your left shoulder, your shoulder blade, your trapezius, that whole area, left upper back, might even be in your neck. So notice sensations there. Is it tight? Maybe it's feeling good. That's totally fine. So oftentimes when we experience little kitches or little catches on the left side, we're harboring blame. So blame for something we did, blame on others. So take a few more moments to feel out that left side. As you do so, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let the head turn off to the left. This should be stretching on the right side, which we'll talk about in just a second. But let the head hang off to the left side. Perhaps you are blaming yourself for something that's out of your control, which seems to be the theme. Also in your yogi ramp, you can be cross-legged, legs straight out in front of you, or in Supta Baddha Konasana, reclining butterfly. But it's so easy for us to blame ourselves for things that we can't even control. During training, I realized I was blaming myself for the loss of our Cordy Apollo back in July. Like, it wasn't my fault, it was his time to go, but I was blaming myself for so much stuff, which is why my shoulder blades are always tight. So inhale to come back up to a neutral neck, and then exhale, let the head drop off to the right side. Notice the difference from side to side, and take your awareness to that right side, your shoulder, shoulder blade, neck, whole upper right area. So on the right side, we hold guilt. Lovely little emotions sitting in the shoulders. So guilt can come from all kinds of different things. We feel guilty for things that happened in the past, maybe like 30 years ago when you were young and a child, or however old you are in this moment in time. But we hold on to these emotions, like we don't necessarily always process them, and then they live in tissues in the body. So becoming aware of what that right side feels like right now on your mat, and taking the breath deeper into the right side, really expanding through the chest and through that right shoulder and shoulder blade as you breathe. It's so easy to feel guilty for things that are out of our control. I had so much guilt around the passing of Apollo, and it again wasn't anything to do with me. It's just the way things went down, how the universe works. But letting go of some of these things can be really tricky. So see if you can use your practice as a therapeutic approach to dealing with your emotions. Sounds super scary, I understand, but it's worth it to work through them, I promise. Bring your head back up to neutral. And either on your back or in your yogi ramp, wherever you are, you're gonna cactus your arms out to the side. So we'll start some movement now. And if you're on the ground, your arms can be resting on the ground as well. So you're gonna inhale to extend the right arm long back behind you as you rotate the head to the left. And then exhale, head comes to neutral, right arm comes back to cactus. Same thing on the left. Inhale, reach the left arm, straighten it back behind you, turn the head to the right. Exhale, back to center you go. So stay with your breath. These are so slow, super, super slow. So inhale, creep at a snail's pace with that arm straightening, turn the head to the left. Exhale, come back to center. Repeat on the left. Reach the left arm back behind you, turn the head to the right. And take a few more rounds with your breath. 2 to 3 rounds is all you need. So these are called somatic motions. Somatic movements for the breath with the body. Our somatic nervous system is the one nervous system we can actually regulate. So our parasympathetic and our sympathetic nervous system, they just happen whenever they happen. We can't really control them. But by doing these somatic motions, we move very slowly with lots of intention, and we're in the body as we do it. We can regulate the somatic nervous system and help calm ourselves down. So then it also helps regulate the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. So you should be done with your rounds by now. And from here, you can come upright. Leave your ramp as it is. And from here, we'll work into the shoulders a little bit more. So starting tick-tocks, you're gonna inhale to drop the head to the right. So right ear coming to the right shoulder. Exhale, back to center. Slow and controlled. Inhale, drop to the left. Oh, things are popping. Exhale, back to center. Stay with your breath as you go. Breathing in to drop right. Breathing out to come neutral. Breathing in to head left. Ooh, that's the tricky side. Clearly harboring some guilt right now. Exhale, back to center. Stay with your breath. 2 to 3 more. Your pace, your practice. Acknowledge that you deserve to let these emotions go. Sometimes we feel, especially me, I'm speaking from I felt that I deserved to feel these negative things. That's just the way I talk to myself. So in yoga, we can reprogram the brain by doing these somatic motions and these breath work activities to form new neural pathways in the brain so we can form new healthy thinking habits for ourselves. So keep that in mind when you hit your mat. You're here to grow, not just to move the body. Yoga is much deeper than that. Last time on that side, Inhale to take the arms super high to the sky. Lace the fingers, drop the hands to the base of the skull on your out breath. Bow chin to chest. And allow the gravity and the weight in the arms to sink the head down. Notice the sensation creeping down the neck into the shoulder blades, depending on how tight you are. 2 deep belly breaths here, breathing into the shoulders, breathing into the back. And as you exhale, release the blame, release the guilt. You don't need it. The past is in the past. We're in the present. Stay focused on the here and now as best you can. Inhale to come back up. And now we're going to do a different type of scapular release. I normally do a certain kind, but this is a little bit different. So you're going to turn the head to the right, tilt the chin upwards, and then inhale to bring the left shoulder to the back of the skull. Exhale, drop the left shoulder, drop the chin down towards the right shoulder. Inhale, lift the chin, lift the left shoulder. Exhale, drop the shoulder, drop the chin. 2 more, inhale, rise. Exhale, fall. Make noises if you need to, like yoga is supposed to be loud. Sometimes. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Come back to neutral. The body wants to make sounds and get things out of you, so let it happen organically. And if you're not making sounds, totally fine. Turn the head off to the left now. Inhale to take the chin high, squeeze the right shoulder towards the base of the skull. Exhale, drop the right shoulder, drop the chin. Inhale, lift the chin, lift the shoulder, right shoulder. Exhale, drop, release. Take 2 more, again, slow and steady with your breath. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fall. Last time around. Come back to a neutral neck. You're gonna make your hands into fists and then bring the fists together for bird wing moments. So inhale to take the right arm forward, exhale, bring the left forward. And just stay with your breath. It doesn't necessarily have to match. These motions are kind of weird, but really make these big, send the elbows high and allow those shoulder blades to squish around, move, jump out. As I said, spooky things live in the body. And so see if you can work them out during your practice. Take your elbows the opposite direction, sending them back behind you. And if you can't make this motion, some people just can't, so you can keep going forward. But high elbows, using the full range of motion in the shoulders. And shake the hands out. Inhale, reach the arms, tee them out to the side. Exhale, fold the arms around you, give yourself a hug, bow chin to chest. You can even massage the shoulder blades if your hands wrap around that far. I hold so much tension in my shoulder blades, so the blame and the guilt really hit home for me because I blame myself for things that I don't even have to blame myself for. And I feel guilty for things that they're very unrealistic to feel guilty for. And I'm sure this probably looks the same for you in some aspect of your life. So let that shit go. You don't need it. Inhale, open the arms again. Exhale, cross the opposite way. So if you were right on top, take the left on top this time, and then wrap the fingers back to those shoulder blades and give yourself a lovely massage. And notice how you speak to yourself. I have my inner critic who I named Snorkels, and she runs her mouth all the time and says very unkind things. So I've been working on flexing my self-love muscle. So focusing on being gentle with myself and talking to myself sweetly, which is very hard to do if you haven't done it a lot in your life. You can unwrap the arms. As I said, you're gonna have your yogi ramp built, and if you don't have the props for a yogi ramp, you can stand on your knees for these, or you can tuck a block or a pillow in between your legs so that you're sitting on the block, like so. So yogi ramp, or sitting on a block or a pillow, or you can just stand on your knees or sit on your knees. And if those don't work, you can sit crisscross applesauce, but we're gonna do dolphin dives. So just making sure you have movement, enough room to move and flex the spine. So dolphin dives, you're gonna inhale to dive down, hands can come to the floor if you need to. Exhale, bring it up. So inhale, swoop down through the shoulders, exhale, pop back up. Hands can stay in your lap, or as I said, they can dive down to the floor. So take these big and slow. Imagine you're diving down into the ocean and popping back up for some air. Stay in with the breath, inhale, exhale. Whew. Keep swooping, staying low, and letting the shoulders roll and come back up. So these are kind of like giant cat-cows. 2 more to go. And come back to center.